Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Livingstone. I know people right now are very tired. Yeah, you know, actually, people don't want a lot of stories and all that. They get bored with a lot of details. But I won't take a lot of time. But for data science, we are going to be quite interactive a little bit because it's something that requires your attention. And like Lisa had said earlier here, data analytics is the engine of Actuarial. What I can just say to you today is that you can't survive in Actuarial if you don't have enough data analytics skills. Yeah? Yeah, I've seen so many people drop out, leave employment because they didn't have enough skills in data. But today we want to talk about it. I will give some introductions. Some introduction to data science. What is it? I know most people have heard about data science and they are confusing. So somebody wonders, what is data science? What's the difference of data science from statistics, from actuarial? Who is a data analyst? Who is a data scientist? Who is a data engineer? Who are all these people? So you wonder, you really wonder now, what is the difference? So today we are going to talk about that difference and where do you apply that knowledge in actuarial? Like I said, it is very important for you to have data science skills in actuarial, especially in the coming years. Yeah? Most recently, there are some, I think in Canada, they've launched something called actuarial data scientists because it's quite important. So we'll also talk about why you need the data science. We'll also talk about the tools that you require for you to be successful. Those are the tools that we use in the industry actually. And it is quite unfortunate that personally, I learned these things alone. Yeah? And it was a tough, like a very tough journey. But I had to learn them because I needed them. And I started way back even before I got a job. Again, we'll talk about those important skills that you need to be successful in actuarial career. And then we'll talk about the marriage between data science and actuarial. So, next slide. Okay, so what is data science? What is it actually? What is data science? I know you've seen something called Predictive Analytics Lab there. I'm also consulting there at Predictive Analytics Lab. That is why you've seen it there. And after this one, you can talk to me if you need some courses and all that, and take you through what you need to qualify and all that. Data science is actually the sense of drilling sense out of data. You can't define data science enough. Yeah? You can't define data science enough. It's quite wide. So what we can just say is that it is the sense of drilling sense out of data. And also it's also actually the science of dealing with so much voluminous data that are coming at very high speed, large volumes, and very high velocity and all that. The data, we'll talk about big data later, what it means, and that definition is given. There are several definitions depending on who gave it, but all of them are actually correct. So this one was given by Simplilearn. Next slide, please. Yeah, so I want us to watch a little bit, some small video. I don't know whether the audio is there. Is it connected? It's not? I don't know whether this one has a speaker. Yeah, you can play it. I think it's somewhere down here. You've seen it? Yeah. Just double click. There's no volume. Just start over, start over. Yeah, just listen to that. It will probably give you a lot of insights about data. So you've seen, I didn't need to explain anything there. Everything was self-explanatory, and I know most people have actually seen that the money issue. Yeah, it's heavy. It's heavy on data science. And successful, I know a lot of successful data science professionals who have actuarial backgrounds. Why are they successful? Why are they doing the best job? And why is it easy for them to qualify? Why? It's because of the mathematical and statistical background that actuarial students have. So don't limit your brain, right? Don't limit your brain. Like Lisa said, that actuarial is a quite wide field. Don't concentrate your brain on one side. And maybe you have skills and passion in something else. So you need to identify your passion. The reason why you took actuarial was to become an actuary, right? Everyone here, is it? Is it? But when you ask for the years, are they still saying they want to be an actuary? Some of them. Yeah. The road narrows down. La? The road narrows down. And then, when the road narrows down for you, is it a dead end? Yeah? Is it a dead end? You must be having passion in something else that you have not identified. I am not telling you to go into the data science way. Me, I chose this one because I have passion in it and I have skills in it. I've done data science for the last like 5 years. I was in Amaco, then moved out of Amaco and came to Resolution Insurance to date. And as I can actually tell you that actuarial people are the go-to people in every company. They are the go-to people. Mtu akikwama mahali na data, anakujaga wapi? Actuarial. Na akikuja kwako na wewe mwenyewe umehang. What happens? They give up. Because unasikia anasema even actuarial people could not decode that. Who am I? So they give up. So you need super skills. You need super skills in data analysis. And I think statistics in actuarial has been somehow underestimated. It's very powerful. The statistic knowledge that you have is very powerful. We'll talk about models here, and you will see where you are going to apply your knowledge in creating the models. Okay. So off to the next. Yeah. So what drives data science? What is that process? What is that process that drives data science? So actuarial professionals normally do like almost 100% of data science, but you can't know that you are doing it, but you have to do it. Like for example, who knows the difference between insurance and gambling? Why is insurance not gambling? But they are the same. But it is not gambling. Why? Anybody? It's because of the principle of interest. The principle of interest. You must have interest for insurance to apply, for it to be differentiated. You know, insurance started from gambling, right? Ilianzia gambling. Watu walianza gambling wanasema, oh, kumbe tutesa changa hapa alafu tulipianga watu funeral, something like that. And then they say, oh, this one can be insurance actually. Then they brought in now the issue of the principle of having interest in what you are insuring. So that is the difference between insurance and gambling. Now, off to where this data science comes in. The whole pricing process, I have had experience in pricing end-to-end, in products and all that. And I can say here, pricing end-to-end is data science. It's data science because it will start from where? From where you are acquiring your data, you identify the problem. So the problem here could be, maybe we don't have a model, or we don't have something that guides the business, or the business has been making losses. Can we come up with a model to price? This way it starts. Then you understand now the business. You understand the business. Look at every department of the business, the functionalities of the business, where they need it and where you can optimize and all that. Then now you start your data acquisition process. Data acquisition processes are so many. You can do web scraping. You can acquire data from databases. You can acquire data from interviews. There are so many sources. Depending on what you want to do, not every data source is important for you. Like if you are creating a new product today, then probably the data that you have within your databases could only help you slightly, but it's not that much important for you because you are dealing with a new customer that you've never had before. So what happens? You need to go out there and look for new data that pertains that customer. Then here you start now what we call exploratory data analysis. That is what data analysts do. That's what data analysts do. And that's the difference between now a data scientist and a data analyst. Data analysts use tools available that just to visualize and to give insights. So here, this is the EDA, exploratory data analysis. We will talk about those steps of doing that in the next slide. So you do your analysis. Like for example, you identify anomalies in your data. You check for data consistencies. You do data visualizations. There are a whole lot of things that you do there. If you choose the data science pathway, you learn that. Then we'll do what we call feature engineering. Feature engineering, I know for the 4th years, 3rd years, you started doing some models there, some actuarial models. Somehow you understand what a model is. There's what we call feature engineering. You will do if you will do your what do we call the last one, the project. If you will do the project, you will not skip this. Trust me, you are not going to skip this process. It's part of what you will have to do in your analytics, the feature engineering. That is where you select the importance of your data. Not everything in your data is important for you. It could be even you need only 4 columns of your data. All the others, you don't need them. So, but you don't just delete, right? Where's the hand up on now? Click control minus. Control minus is for delete. Delete everything. No, you don't do that. You need something to guide you on how to delete, what to keep, what is important, what is not. So this is where you do that process here. And then now, after you are satisfied that now your data is clean, that is when you do what? You now start your model. Remember, this one is very helpful for 4 years. If you are doing a project, very helpful, this process. Very, very helpful. You go now to the model creation, and then you validate your model. And then, once you are okay with your modeling, there are a lot of algorithms to do modeling, so many of them. Examples of such algorithms that exist, you can use things like LSTM models. There is what GLM models, right? Yeah, the ones that are important in Actuarial. Those are the things. So you do that, and then you deploy your model. Your model now is fine. Deploy to what you call production. You deploy to what you call production for people, end users to use. End users will never see all these things that you've done here. They'll never see it. They'll only see the end result. They'll only see the end result. Then from there now, there's what we call the drifting of data. That is where now maybe the data source has changed. Maybe earlier on your data was smaller, now it has grown and it has different features. So you'll experience what we call a data drift. So you need to do analysis for that data drift and adjust your model to fit it. Then we have what we call, then next now you monitor your model now. People are using it, so you start modeling it. Then, lastly, management will not want to see all these things, right? Yeah, managers don't want to see that. Hakuna mwenye anataka kuona ulifanya nini huko. Hakuna. They just want to see, inatoa answer gani? What does it give? The output. That's what they want. And what is the value of that output? Period. So, this is where now you create what we call dashboards. Dashboards. And in the previous video, you saw something called Power BI, ClickView, yeah, ClickSense, all those things. Those ones help you to create dashboards, and then now you do reporting. Then, if your model entirely fails, you go back here. If it entirely fails, that is the pain of data science. That is the pain of any analytical work. You've done everything up to the end, but the result is wrong. You go back here. It's an enjoyable thing to do. But when it fails, the pain you will go through is not easy. That's why that skill is very important for you. Trust me, if you get the skill in data science, you will never suffer or struggle doing analytics in Actuarial, even doing your models. I know there is a bit Lisa talked about the Actuarial part of it, where I know even in Actuarial, I've been in Actuarial for some time. All these things that I've explained here is what we do, even in Actuarial. That's what we do. But it's only that it has never been defined as what? As data science. But it is data science. I can say always that super data scientists are Actuarial people. They are the sleeping giants. Wakiamua kuamuka na data science, wanaamuka nayo kwa kweli kweli. So, that is why if you are there, you have interest in looking at, in seeing very beautiful things, very beautiful visualizations, very beautiful graphics, very beautiful models, and then you communicate and make sense to the company. That is where now ile pesa yenye ilikuwa imeandikwa hapo nakujia. Yeah. That is where that money comes in. It is one of the most paying job, actually, being a data scientist. It's one of the most paying job, and the demand keeps increasing. And that is why even actuaries right now, even the qualified actuaries right now, they are still doing what? Yeah, they are still taking courses in data science because of the future. So you are very privileged today to understand the importance of this thing. Yeah? Sisi hatukuwa tunaelewa hiyo. Naingia kwa market unakutana hata na Excel peke yake unachanganyikiwa. Naenda unaangalia Excel kile kitu imeandikwa, a formula that is there, unashindwa sasa hii ndio gani? What is this? So, like personally I went through a lot of pain learning, a lot of fear, self-learning, sleepless nights. Sleepless nights. Unaenda job asubuhi unafika unaangalia vitu ziko huko, unarudi kusoma. You just go back and learn those tools very fast because you're going to lose your job because you don't have the right skill for that job. You might have all the qualifications that you need in this world. Academic credentials. You can have all of them. But if you don't have the right skill, the right skill set, it will still be a struggle. Itakuwa tu struggle bado. You might land a job because of the qualifications, but the rate at which, the velocity at which you are going to lose the job is very high. Yeah? Your that rate of change is quite high. Yeah. So turnover inakuwa mingi kuacha kazi because you don't have the right skill. So have the right qualifications, have the right skill. Actuarial, wezi ruka hapa. This one you need to do it. If you can't do data science, do at least analytics. Some analytics. So that's it. Next slide. Okay, so karibu tunamaliza, msichoke. It's interesting. Just take it as interesting. So we talked about what we call the EDA, Exploratory Data Analysis. What is that process? The whole thing. What is analytics? Where does it start from? Where does it end? What is it? So this is it. There are 4 types of analytics that you can always do. You always do. The first one is what we call descriptive. That is what tells the business what is happening. Like, for example, you can get a job and then you are just told by your boss, can you tell me what is happening in the business? What that person means is that I need analysis of the status of the business. Actuarial people, you will be doing a lot of analytics on performances of performance, the book performance of the company, the overall health of the company in terms of capital adequacy and all that. You will be doing it. You will be doing a lot of reserving and all that. So that is the kind of what we call descriptive analytics. You tell the business where we are. How are we performing now? That is where analytics start. Then, diagnostic. After you've known what is happening, is it something that is good? Or is it something that is bad? Now you start diagnosing. And say, now, the problem, I've done this analytics, this is the outcome. Now you come and diagnose and say, the problem of this business is that we are taking in bad businesses. Lazima in third year, second years, fourth years, third years, wamefanya kitu inaitwa anti-selection. Even first years, I think, introduction to Actuarial. Kuna kitu inaitwa anti-selection, where you get bad business only coming into you, and the good ones, azikuji. Like now, for health insurance, if you are healthy, will you consider taking insurance? Yeah? Or let me use another example. Najua kwa health hapo, watu wanaogopa kidogo. Let me use like a car. I'm parking my car always in my house. It doesn't move out. Inakaanga hapo kwa parking road. Do I need insurance? I don't need it. I won't need it. Yeah? So, so you diagnose the business. Then, after you've known the problem of the business now, that the problem is that we are taking bad businesses, or maybe there is a data leakages, there is what, I don't know, or there is fraud. Fraud is a lot, it's heavy in insurance, and we will see here where you will apply data science in fraud management. You will do what we call predictive analytics. That is now the power. Hiyo ndio inaitwa power engine. That is what tells you, if this is happening now, this is what is will happen in the next maybe 5 years. Then you tell the company, if you don't change this and this and this, you are likely to lose a revenue of this amount in the next 2 years. So you can imagine the weight of what you are giving out. Very important, right? And that is Actuarial, by the way. That is Actuarial. Actuarial is everything, almost everything in Actuarial is predictive, even reserving. For you to set up a reserve for the next year, once you set up reserve to randomly, you won't. So you won't set up reserves without proper analytics in terms of prediction and all that. Then you go to what we call prescription. I'm told our time is over. So we go to what we call prescriptive. That is where now you give solutions. You prescribe now. Vile tu daktari anakupeanga Panadol and all that. You prescribe. And you tell them do this and this and this and this. Next slide, please. I will just move faster. So I know I will share this presentation. Later, then you will go through it. So there is what we call big data. I know people have been talking about big data so much. So what is big data? Big means big anyway. It's big. It's a lot of data. It's data that can be described in 3 V's. Velocity. We have variety and volume. It's coming in very large quantity. It's coming very fast. And then it becomes large. Sawa. So that is basically big data. And big data can be applied in Actuarial all the time. When you have, like, we normally deal with very huge data set, millions of rows of data. And data science can help you do that. So I will not talk much about it. Next slide, please. We will not play this video. We will share. then you'll go and watch it. Next slide. Yeah, so what is the application? Application we've talked about several times. In insurance, fraud detection, personalized product development, customer segmentations, risk assessment, reserving, claims segmentation, and what you call policy recommendation engines. That is where you've had a client for 2 years. You've had a client for 2 years. When they are renewing, you use their past historical data and give recommendation on whether you are increasing prices or not. So I think that is it. Next. I want to talk about this much. I will share this. I don't have time. These are application of data science, not specific to insurance, to other sectors. So we'll share this. Next. Yeah, why do you need data science in Actuarial? This was a survey that was done by the International Actuarial Society Association last year. You can see pricing. The people who were surveyed, the actuaries who were surveyed, most of them were doing pricing, and all of them, majority of them were conversant with data science. And then risk management, reserving. The first three, top three, the Actuarial. They were conversant with the data science, and that is why they are making it in the insurance field. So all this one. The most unfortunate thing is that you can see programmers are uchini. Programmers, they are the computer scientists, but most programmers are not aware of data science. Next slide. I think the last one. Yeah. Nitamalizia hapa, hatutaongea hiyo next. Na share slide. Sorry for that. What tools do you need? Hapa, angalia hapa vizuri sana. Very important. Look at this. For you to be successful. Even when Lisa is doing her reservings, anatumia some of these tools. You don't need to know all of them. But can you perfect one? Yeah? Can you perfect one? Na ukue perfect. Like Excel. Most people underrate Excel. But trust you me, ukilearn tu kwa market hivi. The first thing in fact 99% of your work, not 100% because kuna PowerPoint na kuna Word. This one here, this thing is very powerful. This one. Don't underestimate this. Start with this. Don't even over-knee yourself and going to a lot of big things. Before you exhaust the very important basics. Excel. Master this one before even you finish your 4th year. Master it. When I say master, up to advanced level. Fanya yote paka VBA. Do it. You can do it because I know you've got the brains to do it. So do it. This one. The other one that is very important in Actuarial is R. R. This one also is very important. The reason why you will need R, because what happens when your data cannot fit Excel? The maximum Excel inakuanga ngapi? 1 point. Number of rows that an Excel can ever take. 1.1 million rows. 1.1. Ikipita 1.1, Excel inakata na inakataa hiyo zingine. What if you have 10 million or 5 million rows? What do you do? Unaachana na project and give up. You won't. You will need this. This one can take up to infinity. Yeah. Also, Python can do the same thing that R does. But this one is very nice in predictions and easier to learn a bit. R ni hard coding. But you have to learn R. This is the number 2. Then you learn Python. Python is very good in predictions and very good in visualization. Kutengeneza graphs. Very nice, this one. Then there is the other one which is less commonly used, but it is very prominent in South Africa. This one, the SAS. For those who will do the South African path of becoming an actuary, this one. Then you will need this, one of these tools. Si lazima ujue zote, at least moja kwa hizi ya kutengeneza graphs na kutengeneza dashboards. And with that, I think there were some few slides, but let me finish there. And then in case of any questions, you can just come and see me. Nimeweka hapo chini some learning resources. If you want to go and learn data science, I'm not saying you stop Actuarial. This is an addition. Hii inaitwa subset. Ndio? Actuarial is a bigger one. This is the subset of Actuarial. So you cannot survive without it. So when you are learning your Actuarial path, also remember, these ones are waiting for you in the market. So thank you so much. And kama uko na swali, you will maybe ask. Thank you so much.